Going on, y'all? I have not, God, I have not live streamed outside of a unboxing in a long time. Um, but yeah, I got a little time on my hands. You know, Super Bowl Sunday. Uh, I like football, and I had a crazy weekend. Hanging out with the family in a good way, not in a bad way. Mike was sick a little bit, in a way that kind of freaked us out. So we had a little weird beginning to the weekend, but it was an awesome weekend. We were just chilling and having fun, and I cooked twice. We made pizzas yesterday, and today made ribs and whatever. Had the snow blow because we had a crazy. Oh, Thomas, hi, what's going on, homie? Thomas, how you doing, brother? Hopefully all is well overseas. But yeah, we had I had a crazy 2 days of awesomeness with the family, but also a hell shit ton of work, like snow blowing like 5 inches of ice and snow and doing all kinds of different things. So Super Bowl Sunday I typically get to myself, and I got out here a little bit early. I had a little bit of chores to do, randomness that needed to get done. Got that done a little bit early. Me and Taco, who you can't see, he's on the couch over there. We're just chilling, and I was like, you know what? I got like an hour before I really need to settle in for this game. I'm going to pop on a live stream. I'm going to pop on a live stream and just spout whatever's into the ether, because it's been a while. Let me turn this volume down a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Might get kicked off the live stream because I have audio going for the pregame over here. Actually have the game on back there. You can't, show you. You can't see it because I have a polarizing lens on. So if I rotate this, you can actually see that I'm watching the game, have it on back there. But I think that might get me kicked off. So I have to obscure that. Oh, Mike, what's going on, homie? Hope all is well with you too, brother. It has been a while. And it's been a while because I'm super busy in the most fantastical ways possible, Probably not doing as many beer reviews just because I'm busy with life, but my new job, which I've had for less than a year now, coming in March, it'll be 1 year. And honestly, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. This job is absolutely fantastic, just from a personal and professional standpoint. And they appreciate the shit out of me. And they showed me their appreciation with an egregious amount of bonuses and raises at the end of the year to definitely kind of life affecting kind of money, at least for me. I don't make a ton, so that was appreciated. And just to go from that to now having Micah, who's going to be 4 in March on St. Patrick's Day, and then he's more active. He's more, kind of like interested in the world and the things around him. It's been a constant, just going out and having fun. He did get officially diagnosed with autism. Very mild cases with the caseworker put it. She's like, it was that third assessment for him. Some kids go for the first assessment. They're like, pretty sure your child has autism. Second one, it's usually like the kind of like, okay, yeah, we're definitely going to put you into the program as far as getting kids up to speed and stuff like that. With Micah, and the second one, she's like, the way she explained it to us is, it's like kind of like baking a cake. You can't have the cake if you don't have all the ingredients, and it just doesn't have all the ingredients yet. And this time, it was much the same, similar to last time, but I honestly feel like she before he was kind of borderline, but she didn't think so. This time I think she was kind of borderline, but she said yes, that way we qualify for, programs and stuff like that for him. I think he's a completely normal kid. I know the idea in the thought process behind autism is quite a different conversation now than it was several years ago, decades ago even. It's been a wild ride. It's actually one of the cooler articles I've seen as of late. Is there's I forget who did it, Uproxx or Vanity Fair or somebody did a interview with Bill Gates and how he dealt with basically saying he believes he hasn't been formally tested, but he's like 100% certain that he's on the spectrum, and how his parents helped, how their idea of what they did for him helped him. And you see people succeed and stuff like that. It's just amazing, and I'm super proud of him. He's such a brave dude, such a cool dude. And I'm the luckiest dad in the world. You know what I mean? So that's been a bulk of my life as of late, is just really hanging with the kiddos. Ooh, nice. I see Mike over here. I tell you, our English Party Line won Best of Show in Milwaukee last weekend at the Middle Winter Homebrew Fest. And I'll have to send you some. Yes, please. Because English Barley Wine is probably my favorite beer of all time. But yeah, so, just been hanging with Micah, been doing all kinds of fun, crazy adventures, going out and doing things. He's been actually extremely, he's been blossoming like a weed. We went from, he's not 4 yet, but we're having, I don't want to say trouble with him potty training, just inconsistency. And I would say about 4 months ago, just clicked. And he, might have an accent here or then, but I mean, at this point, he's pretty much self-reliant. He's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. When he took this assessment for autism, he was answering all these questions. I was like, how do you even know these things? So he's super hyper intelligent, and he just knows so much stuff. I don't want to use the word deficiencies, but shortcomings, even that's a weird word to use, is comes from social interaction with humans. He likes people, but he can just be, when he plays, he likes to play by himself kind of thing, but he loves hanging out with my brother-in-law, my family, my sister, and all these people. It's not like he's not warm to people. We go up into a play place or something like that. He runs up to adults and says hi, and then runs away. He's very personable. And then he has a little bit of the speech delay. Those are the two main things for him. He can communicate extremely well. Like, he goes complete full sentences about things, but the way he enunciates can be a little bit difficult for us to understand, even us, me and my wife. So just working on those kind of things. But outside of that, he's just so cool, man. Like, he does stuff around. He's not even 3. Maybe this is normal. I don't know, because this is my only child. But he's 3, and he's like helping my wife with her farm duties. Like, she comes out now, she goes and feeds the goats. He feeds the chickens. Like, it's not like she's walking behind them going, "Here, buddy, feed the chickens." He's like, she'll be like, "Okay, here's some feed. Go feed the chickens." You know what I mean? Like, and he does stuff. He does stuff like that. Open and close the door for Taco, let him out, feed Taco. All those things that he just loves to do. Chores are fun for kids, so it's that age where you can kind of repetition them into having fun doing those kind of things. But yeah, it's been super cool. And Liesel's been awesome. I don't talk about her a lot on the channel. She's a little shy. I got her to be on a video a couple times here and there. But she's a little bit shy, so I don't like to spill the deets on her life so much, just because some people like to keep the personal life. A funny anecdote is, like, when we first met, which we met on a dating site, she wouldn't even tell me her first name after it took almost 2-3 weeks before she even tell me her first name. Now, granted, her name is Liesel, and she lives in New Jersey. And I kind of knew the area she lived in. So, her main gig in life is making and selling wool and yarn. So all they had to do is type in the word Liesel, yarn, New Jersey, and I would be able to creep all over her very aggressively. So, how many people do you know the name Liesel? So it was one of those things where it was warranted. But she's doing great. You know what I mean? She's such a good mom. Such a great mom. And such a great wife. She takes care of this guy, my bullshit, and it is super amazing when it comes to Micah. She's so good. She doesn't believe she's a great mom. She is. Yeah, outside of that, man, like I said, the work stuff's cool, life stuff's cool, and beer stuff's cool. It's supposed to be heading up next week, actually. Kind of get a little nervous because the weather's supposed to be poopy, but might be heading up to Albany to hang out with some beer troopers, just chill. Looking forward to that. And in peer reviews, I've been doing them, just not banging the crap out of them. I have a fridge full of beer. I just don't have time to review. But I got some cool stuff coming down the pike. I picked up a couple different beers the other day. I was super excited about, and recorded a couple already. I got this cool box I just ordered online from a brewery called Ultimate Ending. They're doing a mystery box. And I was like, they did an advent calendar kind of box in Christmas that I missed on. And I was super pissed off. So I made sure I jumped on this one. And outside of that, there's something I'm forgetting when it comes to the beer stuff. But yeah, no. chugging along, doing fun stuff. Still haven't reached 10K subscribers, but that's cool. It's a slow burn. I remember that when I got to like 1,000, I think it happened the same thing with like a couple thousand. It's like 1,000, 5,000, maybe 8,000. It's like I had this exponential growth, and once I got right to the cusp of 1,000 or 5,000, it like slowed to a halt. I don't know if it's an algorithm thing from YouTube. The algorithm thing, a combination of craft beer kind of becoming a little bit less popular, and also I believe an algorithm thing. I think just YouTube doesn't really push beer channels all that much anymore. So it's one of those things where it just what it is. But I don't care. Literally right now, there's 3 people watching. That's 2 more than I expect. So yeah. Let's see what else. What other kind of things can I espouse while we have the time? Another, give or take, about 40 minutes or so. Arsenal. I got a feeling about this year, man. I know Liverpool's essentially ahead by 9 points, but there's some weirdness going on here. We're having like everything that can go wrong will go wrong season with Arsenal. From injuries, from Saka to Ben White to like so many different injuries now, Martinelli, and it's a nonstop just wave after wave of horribleness. All the red cards we were getting for no reason. You know what I mean? Like all the stupid little things that wouldn't go our way. And man, I am excited. I'm excited for Champions League, and I'm excited for the rest of the season. It should be really fun. I just want, it's been, I haven't really, 1990s, early 90s, last time they won. So that's what it is. Oh, here's Greg chiming in. Treehouse background. Who are you pulling for in the big game tonight? Which one do you mean? Isn't there like a Lynx versus Stars? No. It's weird. I'm pulling for the Chiefs here. For a couple different reasons. I want to see history. I think, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback I've ever seen play football. And, Travis Kelce is one of the best tight ends. Sure, past his prime. Probably second to Gronk, I would say. But, and there's just such a Chris Jones to, Spags and just the coaching staff, Andy Reid, the whole nine. I want to see, I would like to see that part of history come through. Okay. That being said, I have a lot of Eagles friends. I live very close to Philadelphia. I've lived, I would say, at least 90% of my life in Pennsylvania. And honestly, I lived in the same area when he was coming up, Saquon in the Lehigh Valley. He's from like Whitehall kind of area. So that's the thing. Like, I'm pulling for the Chiefs. But if the Eagles win, I'm going to be super excited for Saquon, more specifically. I mean, I'm trying to think. Eagles have a bunch of likable players on the team, from Bellotta and Lane Johnson. There's a couple of jerks on there too, but I wouldn't be like super upset if the Eagles won, but I am pulling for the Chiefs for specific reasons too. Because if you step back, and this is not an original thought, I think if you listen to sports radio or podcast more specifically, this is pretty much been the MO of every talk we had over the past couple weeks, is that there's 2 different things going on in this game. There is the team with the best roster, which is the Eagles, hands down, top to bottom, from T to B, baby. I think everybody would agree that they have a more stacked roster of players. So they have the talent. Maybe not the best team, the best talent. But the coaching side of things quarterback side of things is so much more elevated, so much superior at those 2 points on the Chiefs. It's hard to dismiss that. If you could sit here and everybody can have a conversation about Jalen Hurts and if he's good or not, whatever. I'm not talking about that, whether he's good or not. I'm just saying you have a generational, one of the best, could be, for me, is already the best quarterback I've seen in my 49 years. He could be the best quarterback ever. That is a big gap. You know what I mean? That is a big gap, even if Jalen Hurts is a really good player. And if you go to the coaching, if you look top to bottom, it's heavily leaning on the Chiefs. Now, you could argue, sure, Vic Fangio and Spags, they're kind of a push. I think Spagnuolo is a better coach than Fangio, specifically being a Dolphins fan and seeing, what Fangio could not do last year with the Dolphins. Sure, he's done great with the Eagles, but the problem with Fangio, the problem with Moore, Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, and Sirianni, which honestly, people say, oh, he's very underrated. I don't think he's underrated. I just don't know what he really does other than mistakes or time management and all that stuff. Anyway, I think he's a very weak coach. And Andy Reid is just proven through hardship when he was with the Eagles to now success at Mahomes. People go, oh, he's not only a great coach because he had Mahomes. Belichick was not a great coach because he's Tom Brady. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, if you look at the coaching kind of matchups, it's so heavily favored in the Kansas City's favor for two different reasons. One, just depth and dearth of knowledge, or depth of knowledge. Dearth means lack of. Sorry. Depth of knowledge, and I think the ability to adjust. That is where I think the Kansas City Chiefs have an extremely distinct advantage here. Fangio is a my way or the highway. My system works, and we're going to follow the system. He's not going to change. If the Chiefs find a way to expose the Eagles on offense against the Eagles defense, they're toast because Fangio won't adjust. He's not that guy. His defense is you run the defense. That Spags is completely opposite. He's going to run a system, but if you start exploiting it, he's going to find a way to fix it. Same thing with Andy Reid versus Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore's a little bit too static, a little bit too myopic when it comes to what works and what doesn't. Look at the Eagles' first 5 games until you added a bye. I mean, it took basically not a team revolt, but a team meeting and no offensive lineman and going up to Kellen Moore and be like, dude, we have the best running back in the universe. You're trying to throw the ball. Like, what are we doing here? Like, come on. Let's establish the run, blah, blah, blah. So it took even just like a mini coup inside of the Eagles for them to really even kind of adjust to that. Whereas, again, Andy Reid does not care. Does not care. He will do whatever it takes to win, whether that is throwing a billion times or throwing 0 times. What's going to work is going to work. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And he will adjust on the fly. And I think you might see that as the biggest difference in this game. In that, you have this rigidity and lack of adjustment from the Eagles. You have this ability to adjust on the fly and not be stuck and beholden to a specific system. And you have the extended, what's the word I'm looking for? Personality of the Super Bowl. Timeouts are twice as long. Halftime is twice as long. The game is much, much, much longer than a regular game. So it gives you the ability to adjust in game. You have a 30-second timeout in Super Bowl. Well, now you have a 2-minute timeout. Almost all your timeouts going to be closer to 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 60. That's an actual amount of time to adjust. You can actually change something in your game plan with your players in real time. I don't think the coaching of the Eagles have that ability. Kellen Moore, Sirianni, nor want to do that. Fangio. I think it's the complete opposite on the Chiefs. So that's why I'm leaning on the Chiefs. I think you have a quarterback that is just a savant when it comes to football and how it's played, while also being athletically gifted in an amazing way. Who has almost this a weird kind of telepathic connection with Kelsey. Talk about Kelsey all you want and how he's not what he was. That is 100% true. But I listen to sports podcasts. And probably if you watch sports or listen to sports, if you follow the Ringer and listen to Bill Simmons, he has the old adage or the analogy that Travis Kelce is a classic car. He's a fancy car that people have, that they break it out, at shows, or they break it out on a special occasion, or they break it out on a weekend, and that's what Travis Kelce is. They don't need him to get 1,000 yards and 80 catches in the regular season. That does nothing. They're going to get the playoffs. They're going to break him out. They're going to put the cover off that car, and he's going to come out and he's going to drop that quarter mile. He's going to win in the playoffs. That's all he cares about. That's all he cares about. And that's the thing. Like, he's got one game to turn it on. And he will. And I think, with how devastated the Chiefs were with injuries throughout the season, they've had some luck also with Hollywood Brown coming back just in time to alleviate the pressure on Worthy. So now Worthy can be what he originally was supposed to be, instead of the focal point of the offense, more of a big field spreader, a field stretcher to open up the field for Brown, to open up the field for Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins. And he's been a sneaky good pickup. I actually think DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a huge game in this game. And, the Chiefs defense, offensive line moving to need to tackle, that's crazy. So, their offensive line went from suspect to very good, which is markedly different than it was the last time they lost the Super Bowl, when they had to play against the Bucs, and the Bucs had a devastating defensive line. The Eagles do too. But the thing you notice about the Eagles' defensive line too is they just don't last. They get very, very tired very quickly and towards the end of the game. So with that combination of being able to adjust on the fly, the Chiefs being able to do that, with Eagles just not having that conditioning on the defensive line, both their defensive tackles, it's their first year, they're playing like a bulk of the snaps as opposed to just spelled snaps. I could see this being a very close game. I could see the Eagles winning the first half. Eagles winning the first half, Chiefs winning the game, and Chiefs winning the game maybe with a little bit of comfort. Like, maybe the score ends up being, I'm guessing 31-23. That's my guess, in the Chiefs' favor. But it's one of those things where if the Eagles win, I'm not going to be surprised. But if you told me it was 31-15 or whatever, and then the Eagles score a quick touchdown at the end, 2-point conversion, and then it's just a little closer than what you thought it was going to. The score looks closer in the end than it actually is. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm a Super Bowl junkie. It's one of I'm a big sports junkie, actually, which I should say in general, a big event junkie. I watch American football, English football, so soccer, English Premier League, and NFL. I watch everything. I watch my team's games. I watch other teams' games. NFL, I'm a red zone person unless it's a particular game I really want to focus on. English Premier League, I watch the bigger matches, but I watch more teams than just my own. But those aren't 1A, 1B for me. Once you get past that, baseball is probably my third favorite sport, would be my guess. I listen to a lot of baseball. I do not watch a lot of baseball. I like that baseball being around in the background while I do things, yard work, chill, hang with family, just have that hum of the baseball in the background. I dig that. Fourth for me is probably a tie between championship golf and basketball. But that's kind of where, when I say that I'm into big event sports, that's where that really comes into play. Because outside of MLB or outside of baseball, listen to baseball games and NFL and Premier League soccer, everything else is kind of like, okay, NBA. It's the All-Star game. I rarely watch that anymore. It's just nothing anymore. But it's playoffs, more specifically, the finals. Same thing when it comes to golf. Masters, PJ, the Open, the British Open. Those are the things that I really tune into. Hockey is, I don't know. I like hockey if I go to it. I just can't really watch it on TV. If they do an outdoor game and it snows, I'll watch just because it's pretty. In the finals, I'll watch. So, but there's a big event things, boxing, you know what I mean, championship boxing, even UFC, I will tune in. It's a little harder for me to watch UFC just because they all go on at 1 a.m. and I'm asleep by then. Not that boxing is the same, but boxing has kind of shifted a bit. The bulk of boxing is done in Dubai now. So like you'll have championship boxing matches on at like noon, 1 in the afternoon on a Saturday. That's more my speed. But if let's say like that UFC fight last night, like I watched the highlights and that was it. Like a big, huge boxing match, if it's on super late, like I'll sometimes go to sleep and set my alarm to wake up. When there's a really big boxing match, I'll be like, oh, it's probably gonna go main card, and then on like the main event, it's probably gonna be, I don't know, midnight. I'll set my alarm for 11:40, 11:45. I'll go to sleep at like 10, 8, 9, 10, and wake up, watch the fight, go back to sleep, or next day I'll avoid anything and I'll actually download the fight and watch it. But when it comes to these bigger sports, or my more favorite sports, I should say, there's nothing like it, man. I love the pomp. I love the circumstance. I love the craziness about it. I love all of it. It's just a fun thing to see people, the best of the best, try to be the best. My boy Sammy, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Hope everything's all good on your end. You having wait, this would be Monday for you, right? Yeah, you're into Monday already. I'm having a Sunday still, so hopefully your Monday is going well. But yeah. Who are y'all rooting for? Are you actually? Oh, look at that, Sammy. Why are you rooting for Eagles? Is it because of last year? Is it because of him? Because he's a super Eagles fan? That's my guess. I didn't think down in Australia there'd be a big Eagles or NFL following. So we'll see. Yep, Monday morning. Ooh, less than an hour to the game. Probably go now for another. My guess is another 20 minutes or so. Chill on here. So if you guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Oh yeah, so yeah, for Josh. And then he said Philly are actually popular here, though. I mean, Philly's a pretty, I would imagine, in the NFL, it's the Cowboys, probably your 49ers, Philly, and the New York Giants. That's my guess as far as, well, maybe Kansas City because they've been so popular. Like those are your big 4 or 5. But I could see that. Philly's, I would be a self-proclaimed Philly hater. If you asked me about Philly maybe about 15 years ago. I just, in high school, I actually I was like elementary school, probably more so than anything else. When I was forming my allegiances, just moved to PA, and I was like, maybe I'll be an Eagles fan. I didn't even know what I wanted to be at that point. And I kind of was like, let me follow the Eagles, and I followed the Eagles for a hot minute. I was like, yeah, it's not for me. And then eventually ended up with Dolphins. But I had a little bit of love for Philly until I graduated high school. And what happened? I got into music. More specifically, I got into electronic music. And I was a New York guy, man. I would go to New York for buying records. I would go to New York for shows. I would go to New York in North New Jersey to play shows. And I go to Philly for records. And I go to Philly to play shows. And Philly techno is just, I don't know, they're cheese. The record stores weren't as good. The shows were just kind of like, everybody was into like cheesy shit. So I was like, Philly sucks. And it goes beyond just that. That was kind of like the catalyst for my Philly, little bit of Philly hate. And then it's more specifically just I don't like the city. Now I do. I'm fine with the Uber. But before, when you had to drive everywhere, Philly sucks. The drive, and the roads suck. They're super tight. There's no, it's not a grid. There's a grid, but it's not really a grid, and there's a lot of circles, and it's like whatever. New York, it's like you're on an island. You want to go one way, go evens. You want to go the other way, go odds. Done. That's all you need to know in New York. If you want to go one way, just get on odds or evens. You know what I mean? That's it. Once you figure it out, you can get anywhere you want to go. Plus, the subway system is great, and yada, yada, yada. So I had this Philly Philly has this massive inferiority complex when it comes to not being New York. You ask anybody from Philly, they'll be like, that's not true. It's true. It's fucking true. They have this super massive inferiority complex, and it's Philly. They're probably the second worst fans when it comes to the NFL. As far as just demeanor. And I've seen it firsthand. Not that they hate Dolphin fans or whatever. We don't play that much, but living in PA, I went to Dolphins being in Florida. They're not super close. I've been to way more Eagles and Steelers games than Dolphins games. Just had a bunch of Steeler fans. I used to go a bulk of my football watching, and I would say probably about 10 to 12 Super Bowls in a row were spent in a Steelers bar. A good friend of mine owned, did the Super Bowl every year there, had a blast. Fortunately, he passed away, otherwise I'd still be going to that place to watch Super Bowl. But I would go to Philly games with Steeler fans when they were playing the Steelers, and I got firsthand to know what it's like to be a opposing fan in that stadium. So they can be, like I said, probably the second worst. First is Jets. Jets are the worst fans ever. And it's funny because people have this perception of Philly fans being like the worst. Yeah, they throw batteries at Santa and they had a jail in their basement. Okay, whatever. I will. This is the difference. So if you're going to sit here and talk about who's worse, Jets fans or Philly fans, now there's more annoying fans. I will say that. You know what I mean? Patriots fans way more annoying. Certain fans are annoying. I'm talking about bad, as in like they might injure you or whatever. This is the difference between Philly fan and Jets fan. Let's say it's halftime. You go to the bathroom. And you're wearing the opposite team's shit. There's going to be some drunk dude or woman or something in between. Doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter here. That will be like, just be obnoxious and try to start shit with you. That's kind of universal on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to that fan base, okay? But the difference is the Eagles fan will poke, prod, and try to start shit with you. And if you reciprocate, the Eagles fan will try to punch you in the face. Okay? That sucks. Shouldn't reciprocate. Fighting's dumb. But if you push back at all, like be like, oh, fuck you, man. The Philly fan will be like, fuck you, man, and try to punch you in the face. The Jets fan will do the same exact thing. They'll be like poke and prod you, blah, blah, blah. If you react to a Jets fan, they will not punch you in the face. They will back down and not do anything. When you turn around to walk away, they stab you. That's the difference between a Jets fan and an Eagles fan. At least the Eagles fan is a fair fight. They'll punch you in the face. You see it coming. If you're squaring up with somebody, again, fighting's dumb, shouldn't do it. It's idiot stuff unless you get paid for it professionally. If you push back on somebody, you're kind of saying, okay, let's do this. The Eagles fan is going to try to punch you in the face. Now, if you're giving it to that person and you get punched in the face and knocked out, well, you should have expected it. You're engaging in a fight. You know what I mean? It's not like fake. There's no bravado when it comes to a fight. There's no like, I'm going to try to scare this person and not fighting. That's not how it works. Whereas the Jet fan will be like, oh, no, man, it's okay, whatever. And I mean, you're not looking in the back. So, Jets fans. I'm a Dolphins fan, so maybe that's why. Bills fans aren't like that. Patriots fans aren't like that. You know, it's the goddamn Jets fan. So yeah. And Sammy says, Mike, like, shit did that. Yeah, they did, but they had a great year, especially for what you guys expected you were going to do, more specifically when you lost your rookie quarterback. You know, and the fact that you actually still had an amazing year, it's just, you know, man, it was a weird loss to lose to Washington like that, but it is what it is. Man, it should be a good should be a good game. That's my guess. My guess is the Eagles leading 3 to 5 points at halftime, and then the Chiefs win by give or take, you know, touchdown, 8-point lead. That's my guess. 8 points. That's why I want the 31-23. I'm not doing the math. I haven't done that yet. You know, it just kind of makes sense for stuff like that to happen like that. You know, like going down to the end of the game, one score game. You know, almost feels like that's That's what happens every single time. So, but yeah. Let me grab another beer, see if that cooks me in a little bit more conversation. What should we get? Like I said, I got a crap ton of beer in my fridge right now. I'm just not drinking it. I posted an awesome review today, by the way. There's a what is it called? Trillium. Let's do a Trillium beer. The old Pipsqueak Penguin Small Bird series. I bought this actually in New Jersey. We get Trillium stuff here every now and then. And it was pricey, but I was in the mood for low ABV stuff. But yeah, what else? Oh, hopefully my wife isn't watching this. I finally doubt she is. It started before I got my raise at work. But like I get an extremely generous Christmas bonus and an extremely generous raise. Once I finally kind of built out my shed here, I've gotten the bug of buying all the toys that I wanted when I was a child, not even child and young adult, still stuff that comes out now. Toys that I've always wanted. I look for deals, and that's been probably my biggest kind of collection thing going on, and I rarely speak about it. But if you see, look around here, there's all kinds of stuff. Over there, there's like a bunch of Uncharted stuff over there. There's a Nathan Drake statue I always wanted. There's another Nathan Drake statue right there. There's actually a Herb Dagger. I don't know if you guys like Uncharted, but I always wanted one of these. These came in the special edition collections of Uncharted. These suckers. I got a bunch of Star Trek: The Next Generation stuff. I don't think you can see back there. All those boxes are Star Trek Next Generation. I have probably twice as many of those now. Figurines still in the box. I've been finding a ton of stuff at Goodwill. If you go on Goodwill, their website, you can actually bid on pretty much everything in the Goodwill system. Some stuff can get pricey, but you can find really good deals. Like all these Star Trek figurines, I think for like $25, I got like 20 of them or something like that. And you have to get lucky. This Mr. McGiblets up here from the league. He is if you've never watched the league, which I had this too. I trained this years ago. I had my Ruxin winning the league. One of the best TV shows. It's about fantasy football. But they have this character, Mr. McGiblets, on the show, and it's this doll, and spoiler alert, if you never watched the show, it's dated, so if you didn't watch the show, it's not a spoiler alert. It's just this character that sings this song, and the parents hate it, but their kid won't stop playing it, so the one parent asks his brother to dress up as this doll and scare the shit out of his kid, so he hates Mr. McGiblets. It doesn't work, by the way, but he sings this song. Did I turn it off? The battery's dying. It actually plays the Mr. McGiblets song. If you squeeze one of the hands or something. So these are the dumb things that I've been buying. Just to kind of what the word is. But you guys aren't staring my ass. But I will say, my most favorite Goodwill find. I got a couple weeks ago. This came out several years ago. I don't know if you guys can see it up there, but that is a 1/84th. My camera doesn't really detach, but that's a 1/84th scale Metal Gear Rex. It was a Japan issued toy that sold for a crap ton of money, but now it's like goes for like thousands of dollars. And I found one on Goodwill. I paid a pretty penny, but I didn't pay anything close to anything, even close to that. Because it was missing a couple parts and it didn't have the box or anything like that. That's been like a holy grail toy for me for forever. Which that super bright light. Maybe that'll work better. Yeah, you can see. Oh, it's LEDs. I forgot they flash. Great. I got my little orange box, little Metal Gear guy, and there's a little Metal Gear Ray right there. I don't know if you can see him. Always weird how LEDs do a pulse like that. So, yeah, that's probably my coolest thing I've found so far is that Windjammer. So yeah, my whole place is pretty much a nerdtorium of nerdiness. You know, like if you look at the couch right there, the back of the couch right there, it stops. Everything this side is nerd. Everything that side is nerd also, but more home theater based nerdiness. This is computer video game based nerdiness. Bunch of BioShock shit up there. Favorite, this past year, you watched my favorite best ofs. You finally figured out that I was smart enough to save the ones that I thought were great, so that they didn't have to do any hard work. Got something up there. Yeah. No, I love my little. What's the word I'm looking for? Man cave. Best way to put it, right? I mean, that's kind of what it is. Okay. A couple sips and I think we're home that day. Settle in, hang out with Taco Bean, watch this game. Hopefully it goes the way I hope it does. If not, like I said, I'll be happy for Saquon. So that's it. Future stuffs. I actually want to do a live stream once a week. I don't know what yet. I want to hash out. I want to carve out a specific set amount of time consistently during the week. I don't know if it's going to be during the week or on weekends. I want to do like an hour. But I just don't want it to be me yammering, rambling into a camera. I want it to be a little bit on schedule. That's the thing I'm kind of cooking up right now. I think I'm just going to do like a loose beer review, but talk about beer styles. So I might just be talking about a specific style of beer, along with some free flow conversation. You invite specific people along the way. I don't know. So it'll be kind of like half podcast, half beer review, half teaching to a certain extent. I don't know. We got to figure it out. But that's it. I think we're good 45 minutes in. And I think you guys enjoyed this little chat, even if you watch it post game. I appreciate everybody stopping by. From Thomas to Mike, Greg, Sammy, really appreciate it. Hopefully, if you guys are into the foosballs, hopefully you enjoy the game. Hopefully your team wins. Hopefully you're enjoying some good beer too. It's kind of important, right? Good food. I made ribs earlier, so I'm good. That's it. We're done. Let's go Chiefs. Let's go 3-peat. That's what I say. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you tune in for anything future plans. If you want to see me do specific stuff, beer-wise, content-wise, video-wise, streaming-wise, live-wise, drop it in the comments below. And we'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.